Okay, here I'm just going to explain how to solve this question. I will just provide you the equation and I will just explain the methods so you can solve this question yourself. So this question is problem number 10.3. I have taken from the book Mechanics of Material by Andrew Peitel and second edition. So a W14 into 61 section is used as a simply supported column of 25 feet. So this is the US customary designation, not SI designation. So this 14 is equivalent to, I guess, the 350 W350 column. So when 150 kip load is applied with an eccentricity of 4 inch, as shown in this diagram, determine number one, the maximum compressive stress in the column, factor of safety against yielding, the maximum lateral deflection. These three we have to determine, and assume that the column does not buckle about the y-axis. So use E value 29 into exponent 6 psi. So sigma y is 36 into exponent 3 psi. So he has stated that column is safe to buckle about the y-axis. So column will not buckle about the y-axis, maybe due to the continuous bracing. Maybe there is on the both sides is a continuous bracing, or this column is within the wall. So the column will only buckle about the x-axis. Okay, here if the eccentricity is 0, then the column will buckle. So it means that the column will buckle, but if there is a certain eccentricity, then the column will yield. So yielding is the phenomena associated with the eccentric column, and buckling is the phenomena associated with concentric column. All the dimensions or geometric parameters are given. So this actually this W14 is equivalent 14 into 61. It is equivalent to the W250 into 58 section. So here the 14-inch is the depth in inches and 61 is the weight in pound per feet. So the equivalent millimeter dimension in millimeter is 250 and equivalent weight is 58 kilogram per meter. If you will see the LRFD steel construction manual uh, in the steel structure, so we are given the both SI designation and US customary designation for any W section. So here the cross section area is 17.9 inch square. So moment of inertia about x-axis is 640 inch 4. So why I'm not using the IY, because column will never buckle about the y-axis. So here eccentricity is given along the y-axis, which is 4 inch. So it means that due to this eccentricity, the column will bend or buckle about the x-axis. So depth is given as a 14 inch and length is given 25 feet. So let me check whether this is the uh, cantilever column or okay, simply spotted. Simply spotted K value will be equal to 1. So the first part is we have to determine the maximum compressive stress. So that can be determined by this formula. Sigma maximum stress can be computed by P over A plus M maximum into Cx over Iy. Because if the column will be bending about the y-axis, so distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber will be in x direction. Or you can use this formula, because this formula has been derived from this formula. So P is given, area is also given, M maximum you can determine by the Py into E. So just like in our previous slide, we have determined the M maximum will be equal to, in this equation, P y maximum plus E. So eccentricity is also given. So y maximum you can determine by the second formula. and then you can determine the maximum. Iy is given, so Cx. What will be the Cx value? So Cx value, because column is bending about the x-axis, so it will be the distance from the neutral axis to the outer fiber. So actually here I have written this formula wrong. This will be Ix, because column will bend about the x-axis. And this will be y. So now I have corrected this, because column will, this is the EY. So column will bend about the x-axis. So if the column will be bending about the x-axis, we have to use Ix. So C will be the distance in y direction. So this will be the, in y direction, this is the depth of the beam. So that will be d by 2. So distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber will be the half of the depth, which is 14 divided by 2 will be 7 inch. And similarly, you can determine the factor of safety. So factor of safety against yielding, that will be Py over P. So we are given the P value. So you have to determine the Py, the load which is causing the yielding in this sample. So factor of safety can be determined. So this is the wrong actually. So here the factor of safety will be Py over P. So this equation you have to use by hit and trial. Hit and trial mean that you will substitute this sigma maximum as a sigma y, and by hit and trial you will use different load value in such a way that right hand side will be equal to left hand side. So when you will determine the Py, so Py divided by P will be equal to factor of safety. So you are not going to use this equation. And then the last one is that you have to determine the maximum lateral deflection. So maximum lateral deflection can be determined by this formula. So in this formula, so this will be P critical. So P critical will be about the x-axis, because the column is going to bend about the x-axis. Okay, here, this is the comprehensive problem. This is a problem in detail that we have to solve. This is a problem I have taken from the Mechanics of Material by R.C. Hibbeler from the 8th edition, and problem number is 13.53. So we are given this W section, which is 200 into 22. It is made of 836 steel. 836 steel means that sigma y is equal to 250 megapascal. Okay, column is fixed at its base. So this at the base, this is fixed, because all the four corners, they are fastened in the ground, so it cannot rotate about any axis. But its top is constrained to rotate about the y-axis. So about the y-axis, it can and free to move along the y. So constrained about the y. About y mean that along x. So bracing is provided along the x direction. If bracing is provided along x direction, so it will control the bending about y direction. So here there are two concepts. Either you can say that bracing is along x-axis or about y-axis, because this bracing which is provided in the x direction will control the bending about the y-axis. It means that this bracing is along the x direction. So it means that this bracing is only effective about the bending in y direction. So no bracing is provided along y direction. It means that the bending, the member is free to move in y direction or bend about the x-axis. that he has mentioned over here. Again, its top is constrained to rotate about y-axis, rotate about y-axis. Sorry, its top constraint is to rotate about the y-axis and free to move in y. Actually, this is vice and versa. This is wrong statement is given. So I will rather state its top is constrained to rotate about x-axis and free to move along y axis. And also the column is braced along the x-axis at its mid height, and also along the x-axis it is braced at its midpoint. So understanding of data is very important. Determine the allowable eccentric force P that can be applied without causing the column either to buckle or yield. Use against a factor of against buckling, factor of safety 2, and against yielding 1.5. Use factor of safety against buckling 2 and against yielding 1.5. Okay, please understand this diagram again. It means that this column is eccentric about the y-axis, or in other words, eccentricity is given along the x direction. If the eccentricity is given along the x direction, so due to eccentricity, column will bend about the y-axis. It means that this column is eccentric about the y-axis. So what is the eccentricity in y direction? 0. So this means that this column is concentric about the x-axis, and this column is eccentric about the y-axis. And also please note that in this case we need to determine the maximum safe load about both axes, because ending and bracing conditions are different about both axes, because bracing is provided about the weaker axis but no bracing is provided about the major axis. So the other data is given here. Area of this column is 2860028,600 millimeter. Ex is given as 100 millimeter. Ey is equal to 0. Depth is 200. Okay, here I have to check. So again, let me correct this. So moment of inertia about the x-axis is 20 into exponent 6. About Iy is 1.42 into exponent 6. Width of the flange is given 102. Radius of gyration about x-axis 83.6, about y 22.3, and modulus of velocity is 200 gigapascal, and obviously sigma y will also be 250 megapascal. Okay, now we have to solve this problem about x-axis and also about the y-axis. Okay, first of all, I am going to solve this problem about the x-axis. About x-axis, Ey is equal to 0. It means that this column is concentric about the x-axis. So about the x-axis, we have to use the Euler buckling formula because column is concentric about the x-axis. Okay, it means that we are going to use this. So also about the x-axis, no bracing is provided along y. It means that end is the end top end is free to move in y direction, or it is free to bend about the x-axis. So it means that about the x-axis, the column will be considered as a cantilever. So the bottom end is fixed and top end is free. So it is cantilever about the x-axis or in y direction. So K value will be equal to 2.0 will be considered. So further, effective length will be equal to 2 into 10 into 20 meter. Okay, please, gentlemen, please mute your mics. Gentlemen, please mute your mics.
अब क्लियर हुआ है कि सेकंड पार्ट जो प्रोग्राम का है वो सिर्फ उन नंबर्स को प्रिंट कर रहा है जो हमने पहले में एंटर किए हैं। तो पहले पार्ट में 10 दफा हमने इनपुट किया है और वेरिएबल को सेव किया है a into I में सब्सक्रिप्टेड वेरिएबल।
Mahdi Khalid, please mute your mic.
एरे का सर एक
एरे क्या चीज है? एरे का मतलब ये है
So there are some students who are teaching to this, some other students, some other subjects. Please, you can continue your home tuition later. So at the moment, please concentrate on this lecture and close your mics. Okay, let me start again. So effective length about x-axis will be equal to 20 meter. So after substituting the values in equation number 1, pi square EIX YIX, because column is buckling about the x-axis because EY is equal to 0. After substituting all the values here, exponent 3 is just to convert the load into kilonewton. The load will be 98.7 kilonewton. So next is that we know the factor of safety against buckling is 2. So factor of safety is equal to P critical divided by P allowable or P safe. So P allowable will be equal to P critical divided by factor of safety. So it means that we have determined this load value in 49.35. So this is the load that this column can sustain without buckling about the x-axis. But the column may yield about the y-axis. This means that we have to determine the allowable load about the y-axis also. So about the y-axis, the column is eccentric about the y-axis as eccentricity is given as 100 millimeter, and we have to use the secant formula. And bracing will also be effective about the y-axis. So here, if you see that this bracing is provided along the x direction, so this will control the bending about y-axis. So one bracing is provided at the midpoint and one at the top. And we know that bracing point is considered as a simply spotted. It means that the bracing has subdivided the column into two parts about the y-axis. And we have to determine which part is critical. The critical segment will be the one which will have the more effective length. Okay, for the top segment, bracing is, this point is considered as simply spotted, and this point is also considered simply spotted because bracing point is considered as simply spotted. For the top segment, effective length will be equal to K value will be equal to 1 into 5, that will be 5 meter. And for the bottom segment, bottom end is fixed and bracing point is pin. So one end pin, one end fixed. So the effective length is the K value will be 0.7 and effective length will be 3.5. It means that the critical segment will be the top one, so which is having more effective length. It means that we will just determine the capacity corresponding to the critical segment 5. Okay, the segment is critical which is having the effective length 5. Okay, here we have to use this equation number 22, or this was equation number 33 during our derivation. Okay, in this case, we have to determine the load which will cause the yielding in the column. It means that the maximum stress should be less than equal to sigma y. We have to determine this load value in such a way that it is producing the sigma maximum equal to sigma y. So we will replace the sigma x maximum with sigma y, because we want to determine the py, because if the load will be py, then the stress will be equal to sigma y. So unload is the unknown value is py, sigma maximum is given, eccentricity is given, c value will be the distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber. So it means that the column is bending about the y-axis. So the distance c will be the distance from the c to the extreme fiber, or this dimension is the bf value, which will be equal to half of the flange width. So E is equal to 100 millimeter. So R will be the RY. Why? Because column is bending about the y-axis. Sigma maximum will use sigma y, and P critical we have to use. So P critical is computed about the same axis. If the column is bending about the y-axis, so we need to compute the critical load about the same y-axis. So C will be equal to BF by 251. So P critical we can determine about the y-axis, which is equal to 112.12 kilonewton. Note that I have used the effective length 5 meter and IY value exponent 3 to convert this parameter into kilonewton. Okay, solving question number 2. Substitute all the values. Sigma y is equal to 250. Area is given. Eccentricity is 100. C is equal to BF by 2. RY we have to use this. And PY is unknown. And P critical about y-axis. After simplifying, we are having the equation number 33. So you can either use this equation into the secant form or in cos form, because 1 over cos is equal to secant formula. So in this equation, this is the in radian. So substitute different values here in such a way that right hand side is equal to the left hand side, or you can use the calculate function in your calculator. So you can use this equation by hit and trial. By hit and trial, the value of py is coming out to be 39.376. It means that this is the load value which is causing the yielding in this column. So the factor of safety is equal to py over p allowable, or p allowable will be equal to py over factor of safety. So factor of safety is given 1.5 against yielding. So this load is coming out to be 26.3. So we are having two safe load, one about the x-axis and one about the y-axis. So about the y-axis, the safe load is corresponding to yielding load, which is 26.3, and about the x-axis, this load is 49.35. So about x-axis, so allowable load value is more. It means that this column will be safe against buckling about the x-axis. So column will yield due to the bending about the y-axis. So it means that so our P safe value will be equal to 26.3, which is the lesser value, lesser allowable value about the x-axis and about the y-axis. Okay, one thing is more, you will note down that. So about the P critical. So here yielding, okay, here you will see that yielding is taken place at a load of 39.376 in the column about y-axis, which is at lesser load, which is due to the eccentricity. It means that yielding load is lesser, 39, and buckling load is 49.35, which is about the x-axis. So it means that yielding may occur at a load value less than the critical load if there is a eccentricity in the column. So in this way, we have concluded this. So this is a problem here. I'm not going to solve this problem, but I'm just going to give you the hint how to solve this problem. So this problem is from the book Mechanics of Material by R.C. Hibbeler, 8th edition. So problem number is 13.61. The column So again, we are having W250 into 45 column W section. It is made of 836 steel, fixed at the bottom and cantilever at top. So bracing, you can see these are the bracing. So these are bracing are provided in out of plane direction. Out of plane direction means that the column is braced in out of plane direction, so it will not bend in out of plane direction. So no bracing is provided in this direction. So also column is braced along its weak axis. So weak axis mean this about, weak axis is this about which the moment of inertia is less at mid height and at top. If the load 250 kilonewton, so this is a load of 250 kilonewton. There are two load of 250 kilonewton are acting on either side of the central axis. One 2p by 4 or 250 by 4 is acting on the left side at eccentricity 250, and one load of 250 kilonewton is acting on the right side with having the same eccentricity 250. Investigate whether the column is adequate to support this load. Use factor of safety 2 against buckling and factor of safety 1.5 against yielding. Okay, here actually I told you that principle of superposition cannot be used for the secant formula or for the eccentric column. It means that you cannot determine the critical load separately for this load P and separately for this P by 4, and then you can add up the load of the both component. It means that if you want to determine the net effect, you need to convert these two load into the resultant load. So these are the geometric properties, how you can convert this both load into a single or resultant load. You are having the basic mechanics concept by using the moment couple concept. So first of all, you can determine the resultant of the two loads. So summation of the two load will be equal to P plus P by 4, which will be equal to 5P by 4 or 1.25 is the resultant load. So resultant of these two load will be equal to 1.25. So if you are taking the moment of this both load, summation of the about this centroidal axis, so this P by 4 is producing the moment in counterclockwise direction and P is producing the in clockwise direction about this centroidal axis. So I'm taking the moment about the clockwise direction as a positive. So P 250 is the clockwise moment. P by 4 into 250 with minus sign is counterclockwise moment. So net moment is this one. It means that the total moment, resultant moment acting on this column is 187.5. If you divide this resultant moment by this resultant, so you can determine the distance at which this resultant force might be acting, which is coming out to be 150. So this must be on the right side because it's supposed to produce the moment in clockwise direction. So here I have replaced this two force system into a single force. So a single force whose magnitude is 1.25 into P. P is given 250 kilonewton. It is having a single eccentricity. So now you can solve this problem. So here if you want to solve this problem, you have to use the concept of the previous problem. So here about this major axis, about x-axis, so the column is fixed at the bottom and pin at the top because this is a simple connection. So the column is simply supported, so k value will be equal to 1 and total length you will have to use to determine, and you will use the secant formula. And about the weaker axis, the load is concentric and you have to determine the critical segment by using this segment and also using this segment. So the solution will be the same as of the solution given in problem 13.53. So at the moment, I would like to take some question If you are having some quick question, then I will be able to answer. Okay, roll number 18. Yes, what is the question? 18.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, how Cx is equals to Bf divided by 2?
Anji,
Sir, how Cx equals to Bf divided by 2?
slide number.
It is in the solution.
Okay, I'm going to explain.
Sir, I think slide number 65.
Slide number 65. Yes. This is 51. How come this is 51? Yes, you are asking me. Okay. This is actually the bending is taken place about the y-axis, okay? Because column is centric about the y-axis. So it means that movement will produce about the y-axis. So our the axis about which the movement is produced become the neutral axis. Just the flexure formula. It means that the flexure stresses are zero along the neutral axis. One side of neutral axis is in tension and other side is in compression. So this side will be in compression and other side will be in tension. So distance, the point at which the stress will be maximum will be the distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber. So I'm just considering this column section, not this top plate. It means that this value is the width of the flange because this is the depth. So this axis is passing through the midpoint of the flange. So it means that Cx will be the distance half of the Bf value. So it means that neutral axis is exactly lying in the center of the web. In the center of the web mean that Cx will be distance equal to the half of this flange or distance from the mid of this web to this extreme fiber. So that's why this is Cx by 2. Or in other words, just remember, if the bending is about y-axis, C distance will be along the x direction. If the bending is about x-axis, C will be distance along y. In that case, it would have been d by 2. D by 2 mean that half of the depth because distance from the centroid of the W section to the top extreme fiber or bottom extreme fiber is the depth by 2. So that's why I have considered as a BF by 2. BF by 2 mean that bending is produced about y-axis. So this will be distance from the center of the web to the projected tip of the flange, which is half of the flange width. It's clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 16, you are again having question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what's the question?
Sir, first question ये था कि why we take bracing as hinge? हम हर दफा bracing को as a hinge या pin connection क्यों लेते हैं?
Why we are taking the bracing point as a hinge?
Yes, sir.
Because rotation is free.
Sir, mention होते हैं हाँ इसको हम fix भी कर सकते हैं.
फिक्स भी कर सकते हैं यार, जैसे हमने स्टील स्ट्रक्चर पढ़ा है ना, इन स्टील स्ट्रक्चर इफ वी आर वेल्डिंग ऑल अराउंड, you understand me?
Yes,
If
sir.
the flange and the web they are both connected, then that may be fixed. But actually mostly we consider this bracing point pin because if we are considering pins, our solution will be more conservative on the safer side because the effective length will be more.
Yes, sir.
Corresponding to pin and condition, the K value is equal to 1. If I consider as a fix or 1 and fix 1 and pin, so I am on the less safer side, so effective length will be less. So bracing is mostly considered as a pin unless it is welded or it is properly constrained against rotation. So this thing I think I have well explained during steel structure. But again, if you have some question, ठीक है?
यस सही को क्वेश्चन था कि
हाँ
जो
जी
बकलिंग की डिफॉर्मेशंस होती हैं ये इलास्टिक डिफॉर्मेशंस होती हैं ना, इनको हम रिस्टोर कर सकते हैं।
no. Buckling, actually before buckling, if the load is less than P critical buckling, then it can be restored. But when the load will be equal to P critical, even more than, it will never come back to original position, but we can restore.
यस सर।
Have you performed the experiment with me or not?
यस सर,
This
लैब में
column.
एक्सपेरिमेंट किए डिफरेंट
So
एंड कंडीशंस पे।
when the load is just equal to P critical, if we remove the load, we can recover because these are within the elastic range. But in secant formula, sometimes we cannot restore because the extra deformation they are produced due to the bending effect. If due to the bending, the stresses are more than yield stress, we cannot recover. Yes, if the applied stress are less than sigma y, we can recover it.
यस सर।
Okay, then let me check some roll number. Shakil Jan, 288. Are you there? Please open your mic. I want to hear your voice. Shakil Jan,
Yes, sir.
20. आ भी हो? हाँ भी, तुम्हें सारी समझ आ गई है?
Yes, sir.
Don't you have any question?
No, sir. No questions.
Okay, no question. Okay, close your mic. Muhammad Asad Ejaz, are you there? Asad Ejaz.
Yes, sir. I'm with you.
Okay. So do you have any question?
No, sir. अभी तक तो ठीक है.
अभी तक ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
देख लेना, बाद में ना कहना समझ नहीं आई.
ये सर क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करूंगा, दोबारा ना हुआ तो फिर पूछ लूंगा आपसे इंशाल्लाह.
ठीक है. 299. 299. Open your mic and I want to hear you. 299. Maybe not there. Okay. Then, so I will consider 299 as absent. Maybe.
No, sir.
Roll number.
No, sir. I was
So
having a problem in connection.
okay. So you are present. You are
Yes.
listening to me. Okay. Roll number 9. Are you there? 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Let me check any other. Muhammad Musa Gul Kakar. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you don't have the question, so I will just take 5 minutes more just to discuss that what we are going to study in the next class. Just I will give you overview so that next time when we will start, you will have the idea. Okay, at the start, what we did, we determined the critical load of a perfectly concentric ideally loaded column, long column. So what is the ideal column? Where there is no initial imperfection and there is no eccentricity, and centroidal axis and theoretical center line is the same. So for this type of the column, we determine the critical load by the Euler critical buckling load. And then we have seen that if the column is having certain imperfection, so what type of the imperfection we consider? Non-accidental first. Non-accidental mean the eccentric load. If the load is not passing through the center line of the column. So in that case, we have seen that if there is a eccentric load acting on the column, then the critical load is much lesser than the critical load corresponding to the Euler critical load. And also the column start bending even though the load is less than P critical. In the concentric column, there is no deflection if the load is less than equal to P critical. But in the eccentric column, even though the load is less than P critical, the column will start bending in the lateral direction due to the flexural effect, and its capacity will be less than corresponding to P critical. Okay, next is that the third type. Now, if a column is initially crooked means that it is already having the geometric imperfection. Load is concentric, but it is having the initial out of plane deformation. In that case, again, out of plane deformation will also decrease the capacity. So in that case, how we can determine the critical load or the buckling or yielding load of that column, we have to derive the expression in the same way as we have derived for the secant formula and Euler critical buckling load formula. So this formula is also referred as a Perry-Robertson formula. So we are going to derive the expression for initially curved column. In practice, a column cannot be made perfectly straight and critical load is never reached. So it means that the failure load will always be less than P critical. Consideration of small deviation from the state configuration make the analysis more realistic. So it means that all type of the column are having certain out of plane imperfection. So according to Perry and Robertson formula, all practical imperfection properties of real column could be represented by hypothetical initial curvature or initial imperfection A naught. So it's mean that if I can say that eccentric load is reducing the capacity by 20% and out of plane deformation is reducing the capacity also by 10%. So both type of imperfection can be replaced by another imperfection, which are translating the combined effect of out of plane deformation and initial imperfection. So derivation will be the quite simple. So this will be the last slide that I'm going to explain. So I will start from this slide. So again, we are having a column which can be represented by this black dash line. So this column, before this load P is acting, it is already having the out of plane deformation which can be represented by A naught. So before the load is acting, so at any point, due to this maximum out of plane deformation, at any point, the out of plane deflection may be Y naught, which is variable from top to bottom. And this will be maximum in the center. So this is the theoretical center line, blue line, and black line is the initially curved column and center line of the initially curved column. So if we are applying the load P, it means that this column is already having some imperfection which is causing the movement. If we will apply the load P, so due to the load P, the column will further bend to this red configuration from this black dash line. So at any load value P, if I'm cutting this section over here, so here there will be total deflection from the theoretical center line to the deformed shape will be equal to Y plus Y naught. Y naught is the initial imperfection at this point Q due to the maximum imperfection in the center, and Y is the extra deformation produced in the lateral direction due to the applied load P. So it means that if we are applying this mission Fy is equal to 0, so this P load will be equal to this one. And similarly, if we are taking the moment of this load P about this point Q, so the moment will be equal to this load P into Y plus Y naught minus. So moment is negative because tension is on the right side. So in the previous derivation, this was minus P E naught E plus Y. But now this is Y naught plus Y. So for the concentric column, this was just P into Y. For eccentric, this parameter was E plus Y. But now this is the minus P plus y naught. Y naught is the component of the initial deflection, and y is the extra deflection which is produced in the later direction. So again, derivation is simple. We have to use the Flexner equation, substitute the moment from here, and after the simplification, we will have the equation number 36. So in equation number 36, replacing the P over EI value by the K square, so we will have the equation number 37. So in the Euler equation, this parameter was 0. So in our eccentric column, this was equal to minus K square into E, which was the constant. But now this is also a variable y. So here I have to consider this y. Y is the component of the deflection due to the out of plane deformation. So end condition can also be considered as a same. So I will stop here. So next time I will start from this slide. So I will quickly drive this formula and I will explain this Parry-Robertson formula. So at the end, if there will be no any further question, so I would like to conclude the lecture. So yes, Mahdi Khalid Saleh. Yes, you want to have some question?
Sir, roll number 22.
Yes.
सर रिकॉर्डिंग्स अपलोड कर दिया करें पिछले लेक्चर्स की.
हाँ जी.
सर रिकॉर्डिंग्स अपलोड कर दिया करें पिछले लेक्चर्स की.
रिकॉर्डिंग सारी अपलोड हुई हैं, सारी मैंने I used to share the links in chatting. All are there.
सर वो कुछ
No. Actually, some student they are just downloading the recording of the first lecture and second lecture maybe after maybe 1 month. So please, I will share the recording of this lecture tonight. So please download. So I have set the expiry of each link by 1 week. So you have to download within 1 week. Okay. So all the other students, they are having the recording. So actually for the lecture number 1 and lecture 2, I have shared 2 type of the link. One link for the OneDrive and one link for the Google Drive. Google Drive links are not working, but the OneDrive links are working. So you can use the OneDrive link. So in the meantime, if you have some problem in downloading, so I would share the links again. So any other question? No? So I would like to stop the lecture here. So I will